What better time to launch episode 1 of series 2 of She Wasn't Born Yesterday? How exciting. Okay, well, our first episode is actually called Who Is This Person in My Bed? It's about what happens when your partner's sexual orientation changes. And I have to tell you a story because, like, a girlfriend of mine, she, on her 40 plus fabulous birthday, had a big party at her house with her husband and, you know,
Lovely.
so many people. It was late at night. So they were, you know, cleaning up afterwards. Everyone had gone, hosing down the fondue pot, all that sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
She looks up at the top of the stairs and there's her husband, right? And so he is wearing stockings, her shoes, her high heel shoes, her bra, I think it was the pink one, and a feather boa. Yeah. And chosen.
So you thought it's the time war?
She thought it was the time war. He was doing the time war.
Yeah.
But in fact, he had chosen that moment to reveal that he was trans.
Yes.
And this is who he was, you know. You know, they had 2 young kids, so they decided to sort of stick together. Yeah. Obviously, but yeah, I mean, it was deeply, deeply, profoundly shocking for her. Yeah. And she hardly told anybody.
Actually, it was probably deeply, profoundly shocking for him in some ways too, because he had been trying to live his life one way, and then suddenly decided to live it a totally different way.
Well, I guess you'd repress it, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. My feeling is, I'm sure it wasn't suddenly new to him that he had. You know, these kind of desires
but it was new to
and
her.
what have you. And maybe that's one of the reasons he chose her as a partner, was he thought she would indeed probably cope with who he was.
But I mean, and then unfortunately, you know, they sort of stuck together, but I think things weren't that great between them. But and a couple of years ago, they divorced.
I was going to say, marriages are hard. I mean, that's a very bold thing to find out that, okay, the person you're married to actually has desires to be, the alternative gender in some way. Yeah. It's a biggie. But marriage is hard enough as it is.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But I think, you know, I mean, when it's sort of that profound a difference,
it's
and I
huge.
think, does that mean he would also sexually prefer other? I don't know how it works. You're a sexual health therapist, among many other things. I think it would just shift your world from there to there, like 180. Like, I don't know. But and
it does. Yeah.
You know how nosy I am normally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, yes. I didn't even ask her how she, you know, what was going on there.
Oh, right. As far as, well, you know, actually, that is nosy, and that would have been nosy of you. Indeed, that would have been nosy of you. And
actually, it wouldn't stop me, though.
And actually, the truth of the matter is, it can vary a very great deal.
But so in this episode, it'll be very interesting. We do talk to a sexpert, Dr. Pat Wirakoon, who you know,
I've known her for a very long time.
And you've watched a lot of porn together, right?
I have.
Yes. Well, she is going to talk to us about what happens, how it happens, and how to sort of deal with it. Because in all honesty, do you think relationships can work when that happens?
I think they actually can.
Really?
I think it's huge. But indeed, there are people where they absolutely, I mean, it's a big thing. And different people can cope with big things at different, like some people cope with it really quite well, with big bad things happening to them, and some people find it very hard. We are indeed very different, all of us.
Who is this person in my bed? It's a very provocative and very exciting and interesting topic.
Well, I think people are very fascinated, and sometimes very sad when they're actually going through it. Like, it's very challenging.
Yes. So this episode will be dropping this Thursday on She Wasn't Born Yesterday, on our podcast, on Hope 103.2 app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in, preferably listen to it in bed with your partner.